Demon's Souls is an RPG and a game of musical chairs where you kill everyone and let God sort it out. Then you kill God. It's the latest and greatest game from the creators of critically acclaimed games such as Ninja Blade and Adventures of Cookie and Cream. We are tarnished, and for some dumbass reason, the Queen Lady kicked us out. But now, the Elden Ring broke, and we back. Gotta get that Elden Ring, not a ring though, and become the Elden Lord. When playing Elden Ring, you should forget about having fun, because you will die to every single enemy in the game at least once. Don't worry, that's just part of the fun. One thing should be stated, Elden Ring is not a game, it's an experience. Not an enjoyable one, but one nevertheless. It's filled to the brim with amazing game design, fun bosses, doors that open from only one side, which you will spend hours trying to open, only to be killed by a giant fucking dragon. Once you finally make it through the boss, be prepared to die in one hit. Don't give up though, because with each death, you'll learn a little bit more and eventually, you'll be able to die with a sense of accomplishment. In summary, playing Elden Ring is like an abusive relationship. You will feel like a failure and a victim. The game is designed to make you suffer, with enemies that are impossible to defeat and a difficulty level that's set to torture. It's like a drug, you know it's bad for you, but you can't help it and end up coming back for more. After you actually start playing the game, get past your first enemy that is literally intended to kill you, stumble back onto your feet, and proceed to jump down into the hole that is Elden Ring. The aforementioned hole is actually a tutorial level that will not prepare you for the severe ass beating you're about to go through. Here, you will also meet your first and hardest boss of Elden Ring, the Soldier of Godric. Welcome to Limgrave, you finally made it out of the catacombs, but don't get too excited just yet, because you are still maidenless. And in the world of Elden Ring, that is a huge problem. Not only do people make fun of you, you also can't level up. But don't worry for a second, a pink-haired feminist is here to help you. If you don't accept her help, however, you will be cancelled on Twitter, called a virgin, and basically soft-locked from any form of progression. But since you're a smart boy and accept her help, you can now finally set off on your journey, which will surely be filled with joy and happiness.
I am Melina.
Fuck you.
After making our way up the road, we find ourselves in front of Margit, who's actually Shadow Cloud, the first major boss in Elden Ring. If you were expecting to have an easy time, you are severely mistaken. We also seem to be a bit underleveled, so he whoops our ass. Now we do have a couple of options. Brute force our way through Margit, or run around the map like an idiot and explore the world. And we shall do just that. However, the world is very dangerous, and the first encounter we have, we barely escape alive. On our journey, we meet Iron Fist Alexander, who seems to be stuck in a bit of a jarring situation, so of course we proceed to help him by giving him a severe beating. As well as D. Who? Oh, who is D? D's. Okay, anyways. He warns us of the old lady in the lake, however she won't live for long because we have no sympathy for the elderly. After committing ungodly acts upon an already dead old lady, D gives us directions to a portal nearby. If we take this portal, we will be sent to the nearest Waffle House in Ohio. Here we find a statue that should definitely not be hit. If you are mentally challenged, however, do not worry, there's a door nearby, and opening doors makes you invincible. Behind the big door, we find Furry, who is also most likely a necrophiliac, but nevertheless a pretty cool guy, because he gives us stuff. After acquiring stuff, you might find your way into the Impaler's catacombs, a labyrinth network of tunnels and tombs where death awaits at every turn. By that I mean imps. God, I fucking hate them. At the end of the catacombs, we find a very convenient lever. The boss room opens and we are face to face with a very angry chihuahua. While fighting this boss, I finally realized why the catacombs were named the way they were. It was because this guy is very good at impaling, and he proceeds to show me just that. Oh, I almost forgot to mention the fact that in the boss room, not only do you fight the boss, but also his goons, that make your life a living hell. I used my summons to get rid of them, but it still took me around an hour and a half to clear these catacombs. Oh, what are summons, you ask? It's a game mechanic intended to make the game more accessible. However, if you use them, you will be bombarded with hate by a part of Elden Ring's lovely community, because why not gatekeep a game that is already inaccessible to most people? Upon leaving the catacombs and exploring for a bit, I find a chest, and of course it teleports me to an endgame area on the other side of the world. Because why not? Oh, I forgot to mention, there's also this very big guy that I will definitely not be fighting right now, no thank you. Well, I guess we weren't ready for that area yet, but don't worry, there's still much more to explore in this world, like this gorgeous lake, and I'm sure the sign warning me of a dragon is nothing to worry about. It was. Oh yeah, let's not forget the cherry on top. In this lake we also find another chest that teleports us across the map. Yet another fun experience. The area we just got teleported to is a fun one. Not only do enemies one-shot you, you also can't teleport out until you leave the mine. Well, after those traumatic experiences of being killed by dragons and teleported across the map, it's finally time to take on Margit. And I definitely did not impose a challenge on myself where I can only kill him by parrying his poorly telegraphed attacks. No, this did not take me an absurd amount of time. To be completely honest though, making Margit into my bitch after all that shit talking at the start was really the highlight of my year. This is probably the closest I will ever come to feeling truly happy in my life. But hey, look at that, we finally unlocked a new area, Garfield's Castle. Right next to the main gate, we meet Gatekeeper Gostock. While the guy may seem nice, don't be fooled, because he will take your money whenever you die. Anyways, he recommends we take a path that not even the guards know about, instead of the main gate. Taking this path is an amazing idea, and you surely won't fall down the staircase leading up to the castle multiple times while trying to dodge the enemy attacks. Also, to make his point of being the biggest asshole in the game, Gostock locks us in a cell with a knight that brutally assaults us. Cool. After finally making it into the castle, we are met with terrorist birds and a huge rat? Now, I'm no pussy, but I'm not fighting that thing. So I will just proceed to shoot it from the comfort of the sledge while abusing the game mechanics. And while exploring the castle is very fun, like look at this guy, he has a lot of arms. And I'm sure they come in very handy. We have a job to do, and that is to take down Godric. He is a literal clown and no one seems to like him. Also, my footage got corrupted, so I had to replay a part of the game just so I could show you this boss fight. Godric is the first shardbearer that we encountered, and as luck would have it, weakest of the bunch. He's the last of the Golden Lineage, descendant of Lord Godfrey and Queen Marika, the one who I mentioned at the start. But that doesn't really matter because he's still a disappointment. During the Shattering, he got a piece of the Elden Ring, however after that, he ran away like a little bitch. Now he resides here in Stormveil Castle and rules over Limgrave. The boss fight captures this pretty well. Godric is basically a step down in difficulty compared to Margit. After Godric's defeat, we see Gostock stomping on his head, telling him what a piece of shit he was. Upon leaving Stormveil Castle, we emerge in a new area, Luarnia of the Lakes. Next to the road, we meet a college dropout. He tells us that in order to get to the next shardbearer, Renala, we need to acquire a glintstone key and get into the Luarnia Academy where she resides. And if somehow we manage to find a second one, he would gladly take it from us. However, these keys are incredibly rare and hard to come. Never mind. Next to the gate to the academy, there's a corpse pointing us in the direction of the key. It's sitting next to a corpse and a sleeping dragon, so I figured, why not? Snatched the key and hightailed it out of there before the dragon could wake up and breathe fire up my ass. As we made our way back to the Luarnia Academy, I couldn't help but feel like the building was mocking me for wasting my time and money on a degree in art. And of course, I was right. As soon as we walked through the door, the students who looked like they could barely afford to pay off their tuition began shooting at us. Truly, it feels like America. Making our way through the academy, we find ourselves in the academy graveyard. And let me tell you, it was not a lively place. I'm not sure how many schools have graveyards, but I'm guessing it's not many. Just as we were about to take on the boss, we are met with one last obstacle, a big red dog. Now, this one seemed pretty smart. He double jumped in the air, shot magic at us, and even summoned a sword out of thin air. I put him down swiftly and without any sense of remorse. I'm sure PETA would not be pleased. All I can say is, he was barking up the wrong tree. With this, we finally make our way to the boss fight. Bernala is a pretty straightforward one. She floats in the middle of the room, so you run around like an idiot looking for her favorite child, just so you can kill them. Once enough of them have died, she proceeds to fall down to receive a beating. Repeat a few times and you get to her second phase, where her projection takes the wheel. In this phase, she summons enemies that help her and slings powerful offensive magic at you, but overall she's extremely weak to physical violence. With this, there's one less shard bearer before we set off for the next major zone, Star Scourge Radahn. He is known as one of the most powerful demigods across the lands between, holding back stars with his gravitation magic. He is located next to Ramune Castle, and his story is pretty tragic. After battling Melina in the Battle of Luarnia and losing to her, his body was overtaken by Scarlet Rot, making his mind fog and him going berserk, wandering the wastelands, eating bodies of his foes and friends alike. Radahn soldiers, however, held him in high respect, so they came up with the Radahn Festival. Upon entering the castle, we are not met with hostility, but instead a grand song in the honor of Radahn. Here, countless warriors have come to challenge Radahn, and the boss fight captures this pretty well, as you can either choose to fight him alone or the intended way, and summon various people you have met on your way that help you defeat him. After Radahn's death, the stars fell once again, the skies showing showers of stars raining down. It was a bittersweet victory. However, with this, we can finally move on with our journey. Also, please consider subscribing, because otherwise I will eat your children.